Before proceeding, insert and align the 3mm cutter and guide as shown in the alignment video. Before we can code cut a forward key, we must pre-cut the angled tip of the key onto a blank. This operation is the same as duplicating a key. We suggest you pre-cut several blanks so that this step will not be necessary each time you need to originate a key. Before duplicating a key, you must be sure both depth and space rods are disengaged using the thumb screw. To begin duplicating, insert the pattern key into the left vise using the shoulder of the key to align it. Next, we must set the proper cutter height for our key. Lower the cutter head with a lever on the right side of the machine so that the guide makes contact with a cut part of the pattern key. Completely compress the spring-loaded guide and lock the cutter head into the lowered position with a knob on the front of the machine. Turn the dial on the upper left side to 10, then lift up on the guide and lock it into the raised position with the small lock knob on the left side of the machine. This prevents the guide from dragging on the pattern key while moving the carriage. Insert the blank key into the vise on the right side of the machine using the shoulder to align it. When duplicating this type of key, begin cutting at the right bow of the key and then work down the right side toward the tip. Once you reach the tip of the key, remove all material at the tip of the key and be sure the angled tip is copied properly. Once you have cut the first side, simply remove the key from the vise, turn it over, and follow the same procedure for the second side. Install the space rod in the machine by removing the Allen screw from the bottom table with a 1/8 inch Allen wrench. Slide the carriage to the forward position and insert the 3/32 Allen wrench into the hole in the locking hub. Turn the rod onto the hub until it comes to a complete stop. Be sure to replace the Allen screw in the table to prevent chips from entering the table assembly. Install the depth rod in the same way. Remove the Allen screw, you will have to move the carriage to the left to locate the hole in the locking hub. Insert the 3/32 Allen wrench into the hole to lock the hub and thread the depth rod onto the shaft. Be sure to snug the depth rod up, then replace the Allen screw. Before proceeding, we must engage the depth and space rod. To engage the depth rod, turn the thumb screw in until it comes to a complete stop, then back it off one turn. Move the carriage left-right until the rod is engaged. Engage the space rod in the same way. Turn the thumb screw in until it comes to a complete stop, back it off slightly, and move the carriage to engage. Insert the key blank into the right vise, aligning it with the shoulder, secure in place. Turn the machine on. Be sure the depth rod is in the number 1 position, and begin turning the space rod to the first position at the head of the key. Once we have reached the first position at the head of the key, it is time to make our first cut. Cuts on our key are 454, 22, 434, 55. To make our 4 cut, turn the depth rod to the number 4 depth to make the first cut. Ford locks have a special stopping point built into the lock. We must make a special cut at the head of the key after we make our first cut. Turn the space rod back toward the 0 position on the space rod, clockwise. Next, turn the depth rod out to the number 1 depth position to square off the stop on our key. With the stop cut and the first cut on the key finished, move the carriage to the number 2 space position and turn the depth rod to a number 5 depth. We can now continue on to make the rest of the cuts on our key as normal. Our next cut is a number 4 depth, which is shallower, so we will turn our depth rod first to a number 4 position, then space to the 3rd cut on the key. Our next depth is a shallower number 2 depth, so we'll turn our depth rod to a number 2, then space to the 4 position. Our next cut is also a 2, so we will space to the 5th position while leaving the depth rod at a number 2. Our 6th cut is a deeper 4 cut, so we will space first to the 6th position, then turn our depth rod to the number 4 position. The next cut is a shallower 3 depth, so we will turn the depth rod first to a 3, then space to the 7th position. Our 8th cut is a deeper number 4 cut, so we will turn the space rod to the 8th position, then turn our depth rod to the number 4 position. Our last 2 cuts are number 5 depths, so we'll space to our 9th position, then turn our depth rod to the number 5 depth. Our last cut is also a 5, so simply turn the space rod to the number 10 position, then turn the space rod all the way out until it comes to a stop. Turn the machine off. Turn the key over and repeat the same procedure for the other side of the key.